Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live with Neve.
All right. Happy Friday. Live with Neve. Here we are. I'm waiting for Mandy to be joining us in just a minute. And I'm sitting here thinking about this snowpocalypse we have here in the greater New York area. And here she is. Mandy is in the house. And let me see if I can see her there. She is. Hey, Mandy, good morning. We're doing it live from the iPad this morning because I'm having some Facebook fuckery. So the show is only on on YouTube today. However, there's links on all of our pages, peeps. So if you're not seeing the show, just click on the link and you'll be here in the room with us as needed. And let me see if I can get this thing to cooperate a little bit with me. All right. And so what does this say? Facebook. There we are. There we go. Look at that. That's what's the problem. I am not banned, however, at the moment, but it could happen at any time, so you never know. Let me get this thing out of here. Oh, we don't need those guys. There we are. So I'm looking here for today's great news. Does anybody even think there's any good news today? Let's see. I like this story kind of. This is cool. She talked like a millionaire. She slept in a parking garage and fooled nearly everybody. Joe Franklin, very attractive lady. Hold on. Here we go. Look at her. Beautiful woman. I love blondes. And she's a beauty. And she has been living at the University of Florida officials about a documentary of her planned gala in Franklin's honor. Joe Franklin is a filmmaker. She's pledged $2 million to her alma mater. Joe Franklin's family worried for years about her mental stability, but pushing any homeless person into care is tough. It really is. You think about it, peeps. You know, people, they're used to being free, and it must really suck. You know, you get old and you lose your money and you're trying to still maintain and feel good about yourself. And I got to give her some credit, you know. She didn't have a pot to piss in. She wasn't asking anybody for a dime, and I like that. I think I respect people who are kind of too proud to beg. And she fooled everybody because she had class. She was decent. She's kept herself up. She wasn't wandering around like some of the homeless do. And I'm glad that she kind of was able to live her life happily the way she went. It does raise a lot of questions, you know, just in general about what do you do with homeless people who don't want to be taken off the street. I mean, it happens. And it's one of those things. And we have Mexican cartels are pumping unlimited money into Ecuador's anarchy-raising drug gangs. So that's only good news if you're in a Mexican cartel or one of Ecuador's anarchy-raising drug gangs. Growing violence asks the question, could other countries be next? Of course they could. The world's full of shitheels, and unfortunately, they all gather in certain places to do their thing and make life crappy for the rest of us. And we have, in the latest Boeing 747 news today, flames seen shooting out of Boeing 747, prompting an emergency landing in Miami at Miami International Airport, one of my favorite airports in the country. I've Had many an adventure begin and end there. It's a lot of fun, and I hope to be down there soon when I'm out touring with Gina. Biden calls Trump, trashes Trump for calling America a failed nation, rooting for market crash. Half of recent inflation is due to high corporate profits. You hear that, peeps? Yep. The corporate people who are telling us they're protecting us are stiffing it to us. And they're not doing it very gently, I must say. I see here we've got an $8.8 trillion cash pile has stock market bulls salivating. I don't know about you guys, but man, my stocks have been shit for 3 or 4 years. I don't know if that's anything to do with the current administration, but I wouldn't want to get anybody who likes them upset with me. So I don't know. I just asked the question. You can decide for yourself, peeps. We got the Buffalo Braves. The Buffalo is advancing to the next level of football. And as you can tell, I don't know shit about football. I could care less about pig bag. My girlfriend likes it. I have a lot of friends who enjoy it. And I know enough about it to just say, the jocks in school, I was a musician. They used to give me all kind of crap, try and slap me around until I slapped a few of them back. But one of the things is once I gave them a good pop back, they thought I was kind of cool. And then because I was a drummer, they found out they thought that had some athleticism. They'd leave me alone. The key part was not my athleticism. It was just that I had to slap them back when you're the new kid in town. Unfortunately, that shit happens. But they're saying that driving with windows down, music blasting may signal a serious health problem. Okay, well, what's this? Drivers who roll down their windows, blast the radio, chew gum, might be exhibiting signs of a serious, I say, snoring disorder. Wow. They tell me I snore like a bastard, so this could, oh my gosh, I might have, I feel it now, it's coming on. It's sleep apnea. Can lead to excessive daytime sleepiness. I'm fucking up I'm up like 24 hours a day, man. And I can take a nap for 10 minutes in an instant almost any time because I have a weird sleep cycle. It's about every 3 or 4 hours at night. And a lot of times I start reading, and like last night, I was up till about 3 a.m. reading and answering some emails and stuff, and just taking care of some business. And I couldn't go back to sleep. I kept looking at the phone going, and then looking out the window, and I'm like, where's all the snow? Where is it? Look at this thing. I love that. Come on over here. Come on over here. There you go. Now I'm going to go over here. Isn't that great? The fucking joys of technology. And now I'm going to see what the lovely and talented Mandy is doing. I'm just trying to get her in here. Add to stage. As you can see, I'm squinting, peeps. Good morning.
Hey, how's it going? What's going on?
It's going excellent. I can't complain. I mean, the snow's a little light. I was hoping for the apocalypse. I want the whole fucking 400-pound blast in my yard,
Yeah, well, maybe. It just started. It just got started, Like, we're in for it for the whole day. So,
Yeah,
you never know. Don't be impatient. You might get exactly what you want. It could be coming around the corner.
I think it could be great. I could be stuck up here in the house, not able to go anywhere for a couple days. That's so rough. I mean, I must tell you, sit around, eat food, smoke a little bud, watch some bad TV. You never know, maybe get a little loving in at some point. What could be worse?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
Hell, sometimes you just got to kick back and enjoy the 4-foot drifts. We haven't seen those here at the shore in like years.
Yeah, no, not since I've been in Jersey. So it's been at least like 8 years.
When I moved here, the first year, it was like 12 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I came up, I left Florida Christmas Day, and I got up here on two days later, and I had rented a house, and I had a roommate up here. And I got there. Well, first thing I got to a house that had the same address. And I trudged up the hill looking at it going, damn, this is some big monster house. I did all right. Look at this shit. And there was like 4 feet of snow. And I'm driving into New Jersey. It's just billowing down. I had a coat on. A friend of mine said, bring this to New Jersey. I'm giving you a coat. You'll never freeze. I'm driving in the car up here with the heat on full. It's barely pissing out. snow is coming down like all the way from Virginia to here. So I think I'm at my house. I get
Yeah.
out of the car, I trudge up this driveway that's like a mile or half a mile long, and I'm falling down. It's all icy. I haven't walked in snow except going skiing every 2 years. So I'm out there. I get up to the front door and I see nobody's shoveled it. I'm thinking, what the hell, man? It doesn't even look like anybody's here.
Yeah.
Guy's like, yeah, I'm here. Called him an hour before. Bang on the door. No answer. So then I got to go back to my car to get my phone because it's down at the end of this long driveway. There's no way I can drive it up this fucked up hill.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I get on
You'd
the
be
phone.
screwed.
The guy says, oh, there's 2 addresses on the street. You're at the other end of the road. You got to come to this end of the road. I'm like, okay, so does that mean that I go north? Okay, yeah, okay, I'll come north. So sure enough, about 3 or 4 miles down the road looped around a corner. There I found the much more, we'll just say, modest housing.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing really modest in Mendham. Like, Bobby Brown was one of our neighbors, and and Whitney and all these, the governor, the fat bastard, lives up there. And so I got there and
got the whole shebang.
Yeah, that was the last time we really, like, that year and the year following, we had incredible amounts of snow. My girlfriend at the time and I both loved skiing, so we'd bail out every weekend or, frequently to Vermont or New Hampshire. It was a great time. I haven't really seen that since, though. And, the past couple of years after busting my wing, I certainly wasn't going to go out and test my skills on the ski slopes. Thinking maybe if I fall again, I'll break it again, but I'm ready. I'm tan, fit. Well, I'm not really tan, but somewhat. And
well, aren't you just getting over your shoulder problems?
My shoulder's fucking great, man. I'm
ready. And your neck problems, and you're like, I'm gonna go do this. Throw my body in.
I don't. You know what? Pain is a part of my existence, and it has been for decades, man. You beat on shit for a living, and you're gonna be sore. Don't be a wanker, man. Get out there and embrace the bloody blisters. Go out there and play some rock and roll.
This is true. I just said that the other weekend, it's like I have different, levels of after gig, the normal, right. Feel like beating up, and so, and like when my bandmate was like, I felt like I got hit by a Mack truck. I was like, I kind of feel like I got hit by a moped, It's like, it's like you're kind of like, it's like a minor annoyance,
I love it.
But it's true. It's a true thing. It's a true thing.
Yeah, definitely. So how is the band doing? You guys
pretty great.
Last weekend?
Yeah, it was a great gig. We were at Tim Kerwin's, and that's in Middlesex. It's kind of close to where I live. We had a bunch of friends come out, some people who've seen us before, and it was like, it's just a huge party, Yeah, it is. And then, we're just getting ready we're supposed to have breakfast on Sunday. Come up with some plans, because I think we're all at the point where, and I think that a lot of people in music are really starting to vocalize this more. There are a lot of fucking posers pissing in the fucking pool. There are a lot of fucking posers, and everyone's trying to be kind.
Every time I get somebody, they send me a tape, and it seem like they're really nice, and then I just get this awful, god-awful mess. I listen to it. I'm like, oh man, they're such nice people. I don't know how to tell them they're just awful.
Yeah.
Self-awareness is important. And remember, people, I'm aware that I'm fucking awful, so don't worry about it. You can throw darts at me and stuff. They flick off the titanium skull.
I don't. Here's what my problem is, though. It's not about their skill level, and because it's like I don't want to be rude. Like it's not about
to anybody, but
yeah. It's about the people who just who are rude to you because they have an overinflated sense of self, Did
you get a couple of these guys?
Recently. Oh no! I gotta tell you, that's one thing I gotta say is like, as one of my friends put it, like I'm a punk girl. Like that's the scene I grew up in. That's we don't take prisoners. You don't fucking like us. By the end of the show, you're gonna like us. You're not only gonna fucking like us, you're gonna be wearing our shit and telling your friends about us. Like that's the vibe, you know. So it's like you can't make that stuff up, you know. And there came a point. I don't know if you saw the meme I put up. All right, and the meme about like now that's what I call dad rock. Okay.
I did
Okay.
see that.
Now I'll tell you why I made that. Okay. And I'll start like I said, you know, all right. Like a while ago, I won't get into the
Gory details.
yeah, the gory details, but we'll say this, all right? There's someone I know, okay, that shame on them. What they do is because they have an overinflated sense of self.
Right.
They badmouth other bands to booking people and make it harder for certain other bands that totally deserve a shot to get gigs. Now, the kind of person I am, I infuriate people like that because I'm like the motherfucking Energizer Bunny. It's like, not only will I prove you wrong, but you'll be wishing you never fucking had this finger pointing at you. You know? So I was like...
You are small in stature, but large in spirit, and I believe it. I've been married to a redhead before, man. You guys are...
So I says to myself, I go,
don't get pissed off. I mean, I can say that clearly. I have knowledge of that, and I have a daughter who's redhead as well.
Yeah.
She's a nurse, so whenever I have some minor ailment, she gives me grief, you know, and it's great. I'm like, she just, she loves me.
Yeah, and it's like and I really take offense to it because I do not talk smack about people. I mean, you even know, Neil, how many people do I have dirt on? And I wouldn't, like, I'm a peaceful being. And it's like, I don't look to, like, make anyone feel bad, anything like that. Like, we're all just,
You're a good person because you're humble as an entertainer, and that's the best thing you can be. And I know I make a lot of jokes and stuff, but I would never make somebody feel bad or try and say I'm a better drummer than you are, because there's many drummers out there who kick my ass.
Yeah.
Or look down. I believe in mentoring people, you know, if you can.
Yeah.
If they're willing. You can only teach the willing. And I think it was Einstein who said the people who can embrace change the quickest will survive, and they'll always be working, because that's just it. Everything changes. Look at the music business. How long have we been doing this shit? And every 10 years, like all the hair bands, when Nirvana came out, they looked at Kurt Cobain, they're like, who's this scrub in a Fide t-shirt? And next thing you know, there wasn't a hair band on the radio for like 4 years.
Yeah.
Now they're all out doing Vegas. They're playing the casinos around the country. But
it's true.
Tough. And a lot of musicians, I think, are cutthroat as shit. And I don't really like people like that. You know, if they're cut their legs off, I'd rather have them just tell me to my face, I think you suck and I don't like you. Because then I can go, I never liked you.
Yeah, but you know what the truth is, though? Like, in my experience, I haven't met real musicians like that. I've only met I really am. I'm fortunate. Like, the only assholes I met are people who have no skills anyway, and they have to talk shit. And it's like, to me, I have no tolerance for that, because, like, which is, like, why I was like, so this is our new, this goes back to the Twisted Ginger. This is my new promotion, all right? And this is for now until forever, okay? If you come up to me at any one of our gigs and tell me whose legs that is, right? I'll buy you a drink. I'll tell you the story. It stays between us, okay? And we're gonna keep doing that for a little while till people learn how to be nice, Yeah. That's because no bueno.
I'm very nice. I've occasionally whispered into someone's ear. It's just between me and them. And then they look at me, and I just look at them. I'm like, do I look like more of a talker or a doer? Even though I run my mouth a lot, I like to get things done. So just run along. I hate the guys. I haven't had it happen in many years, but when I was younger, and in the 80s in particular, everybody had long hair and spandex and stuffing socks in their britches and doing all kinds of stupid shit. And these guys would walk in and sit at the back of the club. And I could pick them out from the kit. I'd be like,
Yeah.
hey, Steve, come here, man. My guitar player, come over, go. What do you want to bet one of these two dipshits asked me to play my drum kit? Fucking.
Oh
You know?
yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, man. You know, I don't know you.
Yeah.
If I knew you and I'd seen you play, I'd be glad to let you play. But I
Yeah,
don't know you. I'm sorry, I
no.
can't. It's just if I
No.
let you do it, I'll have like a line of people all telling you how much better they are than me.
Actually, you know, it's funny, like you say that, because that's one of the things I never ever do. I never ever share my mic. I'm sorry, I don't.
Oh,
Fuck
hell
you.
no. I don't
and
either.
I did
Get
it
away
for
if
the
I can't
only
share my mic.
time. I did it for the only time this past weekend, because there's Rick Pink. If you're out there, we need to have him on the show. I think you'd really like him. Yeah, okay. But
Rich is
do you know
great,
him?
man.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Now,
I did sound for those guys, which was great. I loved every tune they did. They kicked ass.
wait, who?
Bill Puig.
No, I said Rick Pink.
Oh,
I said,
Rick
I was
Pink.
like, I was telling you my story about last
Gotcha.
week, how this is the only time I shared a mic, and I was saying he would be really great on our show, and like, cause he's awesome and the vibe's right, and it's like, to me, it's like, and you gotta sing on pitch, because I can't deal with that. There's, you know, use a fucking keyboard, people, singers of the universe. A lot of the youngins, you got lazy. I don't know who forgot to tell you. Check your pitches. Get yourself a
They got
keyboard.
pitch control. I don't need to sing.
Horrible. And then, because then what happens is people's ears get attuned to listening to bullshit. So it becomes like, you know, you're just like used to the bullshit, so everything kind of sounds all right, but nothing
You just
really.
nailed it on the head.
Yeah.
Completely. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna hold that thought. I'm gonna quickly run to a commercial break here, because we got to at least get the few people who are buying ads. Got to take care of them good. I'm looking down here at video clips. All right. See, I'm using an iPad, which compared to my big display downstairs, it's like I got to look really hard. So here we have, let's see, who we're going to do first. Let's just get Carlton going, because I'm supposed to have coffee with him later.
Nice.
There's some changes headed, like the Gulf Stream rising, like some gale that's been blowing off this wide bird island shore.
I gotta listen to the
I
chorus.
can't say where, and I don't
CarltonWilkinson.com.
know.
CarltonJWilkinson.com.
In the
Check them out
restless
when you can.
shade.
That's a great song. Yeah.
Takes the subway home. Rich man folding old regrets. Steps on the rundown below.
Oh, we got one more. Here we have the amazing and talented, who I have to get you with, and we got to get with, is the beautiful and talented Nancy Crowder. That's right. If you're ugly as a dog and you have to drink beer by the bucketful and get girlfriends, boyfriends, lots of liquor to sleep with you, get over to Nancy Crowder. She'll fix you up. She'll take that cyclops face of yours and fix it. Take the big eye in the middle of your head, make it up, cover it up, put it on your back so you can watch when people are coming. What do you think? I'm coming to reward you. Yep, that's right. I'm here to reward them. Got buckets of cash, lots of hash, chasing ass. Life is good.
Yeah, so over here it says we have the Legion of Prague, right? We all know that's Bill's band, you know? And you did sound with them this past weekend, so how was that? Like, it was probably kick-ass, yeah? You got to see him up, yeah.
I had a few moments of sheer terror just because I wasn't quite used to their console, but, you know, other than that, they have a Soundcraft 24, which is a great mixer. I've used tons of Soundcraft stuff, but it was all off an iPad, which was the coolest because I could operate it.
Oh, that's what we have. Yeah, we have the iPad too. You know, it's like it's an amazing thing.
As we hurried in there, got set up, so I had to learn on the fly.
Yeah,
and I wanted to make sure they sounded really great. But I couldn't figure out, like, the singer wanted me to do a couple of repeats, and like while they're playing another song, I'm furiously going through the menus trying to find it. You know, I was like, oh fuck. got it. I have to say, I think I did pretty damn good considering. The sound was decent. I listened
Nice.
to the video. They're easy to mix. Their singer's excellent.
Nice.
Bill is one mofo of a bass player, man.
Yeah.
The guy played
Yeah.
with his hands like all night, and he was feeling like shit. Guy had the flu or something. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you, man, that was one of those days that just reminded me how much great fun it was. You know,
Yeah, that's how it was our band too. Like our bass player was sick as shit. Like on like and he still like came to the gig like like he and it's like they pull through. And bass players, I'm a big fan. I know Neil makes fun of you guys, but I love you extra.
hey,
So
I love them too. Believe me, all the jokes I make, the ones I love, know I love them. Believe me, I'm just a big ball of fun anyway. I don't really pick on them. It's more just to get a rise out of them, because I play
Yeah.
with a great bass player. I get, I'm like, oh,
yeah, well, yeah, because you two are
Kick
buddies.
the
Like it's
ass,
different. It's like siblings.
Fuck
Yeah,
you,
yeah. The bass player, drummer, the
that
combo,
fusion
the
you
rhythm
have.
section. Yeah, yeah.
Really, if I don't like somebody, they won't get picked on in the same
That's
way.
right. Yeah, no, that's true.
I only pick on
That's
people
true.
that I don't
Me
like,
too.
If somebody
People get
comes in
fucked up nicknames all the time. Like
that's
people
it,
get
you know?
nicknames, and I'm like, they're like, where'd that come from? I'm like, I don't know, but that's your name now, cause
Well, that's it. And so, where I come from, in fact, everybody who knows me knows I'm terrible about giving people nicknames. Sometimes, like I had a bass player who was an ichthyologist. He was a biologist into fishes and scalps and bitey shit. He lived next door to me, and I hired him as a bass player. And we had to kill him. I'm sorry, but I nicknamed him Flounder.
why? I mean, of all the fish,
Well, because
of all the fish.
I think it's kind of cool how a flounder's eye merges around to its back on one side. I always
That is
thought
pretty
was
cool.
fascinating,
That is pretty cool.
from a science level. And he was
Yeah,
really
yeah,
into
yeah,
fish,
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I liked him as
So it's a
person.
really cool fish. All right, see, so that's actually really nice. See, that's why I asked.
called him
'Cause-
Flounder, but
Yeah.
he took it wrong because he was just one of those people, man.
well,
If you make a little poke at him, he'd get all like withdrawn into his head, and I'd be like, "Will you fucking chill out, man? I'm just playing with you. God, you got to get to know me. I'm not trying to harass you. Believe
yeah.
me, if I'm gonna harass somebody, they would know it. But I've learned a lot in my 60 years.
They go away
Usually the band
crying.
members- I've said it when I was a young guy. There's nothing that can't be cured with a good stick to the fucking head.
Yeah.
And I've only had to do that twice in my fucking 50 years of playing music. And it's happened on 2 occasions. And it once was because we were playing Surrender, Surrender, but don't you give yourself away. There's the backing, there's descending scale on the
Yeah.
other vocals. So you're call and response.
Yeah.
So this guy's never sung. He's a stand-in bass player. We've used him like a couple of times, but the reason we didn't call him was because he was a dick. He didn't sit in with us. We'd like all go, come on over, come to the bar with us. I don't drink. Okay, have a soda. Just come and hang with us. And he's just always sitting by himself. And he was an odd duck, So in the middle of a song, out of nowhere, he jumps on the mic, and I'd already gotten on his ass about playing too fast. Stay in the groove, man. Watch me, I'll fucking tell you where to be. 120 beats a minute. Do you need a click? We'll turn it on. Here, audience, you can all hear. No. Any rate, I looked at him when he started singing, and I went, don't do that. And he kept singing. Then he looks back at me, and I go, cut it out. He doesn't back off. He goes this. He gives me the fucking bird.
Oh,
My keyboardist is sitting next to me, and he's one
boo!
of my
Party
friends.
foul!
And as it is, my keyboardist and the guitar player and I had to finish the night because
Yeah.
I don't know why. There's probably some alcohol involved in those days. But when he flipped me the bird, I went, wrong answer. He's singing fucking, I'm singing. And right when the vocals stopped, he backed off the mic and I let him have it. It flipped across the room, hit his shoulder, then bounced off his head into the front row, which was great. Some chick came out and grabbed a stick, ran off like a rat with it. Anyhow, he just looks at me. He goes, fuck you, Neil. He packs his shit up. He's got his case, his bass, and a cord. He just drags it out the fucking door with the cord dragging behind him. And of course, by then, I'm like, don't let the door hit in the ass. I'm docking you, fucker. Any rate, back in those days, things were not as genteel. And I was also a young 20-something ball of fucking flaming terror, man. It's good I've aged. I can tell you that. Like, back in those days, I would break cymbals and snap off the beaters on bass drum heads. My drum guy, my sound man, Ralph, would just be like, I just remember he'd go, you're a fucking animal. And I'd be like, well, I didn't mean to break it. I just fucking got a little excited, and that's the way it is. I mean,
Yeah.
I still say it, if you're not up there, I don't care if somebody makes a bad note once in a while, but play with passion. Play like you fucking are.
Yeah, I had some friends come out that just know me from at school, right? And like I work with, for people who don't know, I work with special needs kids, and a lot of them.
Look at her.
No,
I could get to deal with it.
And a lot of them, they're like 9, 10, and they're nonverbal, but they have like, just all sorts of things. We're just trying to work on being, just like chilling out and learning how to do certain skills like using the toilet and not sticking stuff up your nose, like things like that, and you have to be patient. You have to be a certain sort of person to be able to like deal with that. So I told these people, I go, listen, you're gonna see the beast be unleashed. I'm an animal. I'm a freaking animal, And it's like, and they started laughing, but then like, sure enough, they come to the show. They're like, it's like a different person. I was like, well, yeah. I was like, because it's different. It's it's you're in the zone. When you're in the zone, that's like, that's total freedom. It's like, and on the other hand, unless you're someone like Prince or fucking Michael Jackson, you can't be in the zone all the time. We're all trying to freaking like have pay bills and live life, and it's like you act like that all the time, people are gonna be like, oh, forget that guy. Exactly. That gets old fashioned. Shut up.
I love Bill's thing here. Public disagreements, no bueno. I agree with you.
Yeah, no,
like I haven't done that in like 20, 30 years now. God, is it amazing?
Party foul.
30 years ago. Jesus.
Yeah.
40, man. Really. Yeah, it was 40 years reunion I went to. So that was the 80s. Boy, they were fun, what I remember of them. Other than a few incidents like that where about 5 years later, I ran into the guy again. I was playing a gig somewhere and he walked in. And I went up and tried to mend fences, but I was still persona non grata after that. I bought him a beer, and I know he was sitting there going, oh, fuck this guy. I hate this drummer. He's such a dick. And, well, I was back then. I admit it. I was a young putz, and I don't know. You learn a lot over the years. I learned from playing around a lot of great musicians that they don't act like a douchebag, so I don't need to either, Not I mean, I hate to say it, when he flipped me off, something snapped in my head. I was young and drunk, and I just lost it on him. The audience all clapped when I did it, though, so I don't know what that means. Maybe that means he wasn't very good, or they just thought it was funny, because the whole band on stage was laughing. They were like, I can't believe he did that to the guy. I said, I'm sorry. I didn't really think I was going to hit him. I thought it would like kind of bounce off the ceiling and get his attention.
Yes. Yeah, sometimes it's just the $1 million shot.
Just for old time's sake. Like, you could have it in the middle of, like, when we have something like go wrong on the show, we could just have the stick staggering off stage, dragging his cord behind him.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But no, I think most people who are in music who last a long time are really, they're congenial people. They like to get along. They're people persons most of the time.
Yeah.
But, there's always exceptions to the rule. I mean, Bill's got so much personality and knows so much about rock and roll that anytime I can hang with the guy, it's like, we should have him on the show just to talk rock and roll history.
Yeah.
The guy knows it. I mean, he's got it down. I mean, I love talking to people who really know their stuff about some types of music that I might not know about, or they're just interesting to talk to. And those guys are all excellent musicians. Singer is killer. And they're all super nice guys, too. That's the other thing about it. I felt great. It was just like being part of the band. I ran out, started grabbing shit as fast as I could get it in, and trying my best to stay out of their way, but yet be efficient and getting stuff where it needed to be.
Yeah.
And Bill was great. He gave me a tutorial on the system the night before. We did a online thing, and when we got there, he gave me the stuff, and it was fun. I had a great time. The audience there was great. In fact, we'll have to find out. You guys need to play there. It's a long ass way down. It's in working Jersey Works or some funky town down in the middle of, like, by the Pine Barrens. But
nice.
Really full.
Nice.
I got a hamburger to take home, and when I got home at 2 or 3, I sat here in the living room and just started noshing on it. My girlfriend, like an hour later, comes out. She sees all this food scattered around. I'm just like sitting here. You gonna come to bed, honey? Oh yeah. I'm like all stuffed with hamburger grease and stuff. It's 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
It was good though. The food was great. The prices were great. And they really had some, just it was a good crowd. Like I felt like everybody's having fun.
Yeah.
And that's like really that's the best in life.
Yeah. Yeah,
I know
that's what it's
you
all about.
I know you love your job and stuff, and I love all the different jobs I've had, whether it's sales or being in a
Well,
band or
listen.
sound
Yeah.
systems. But man, playing up, it's just the best feeling I ever get in the world. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
like
see
there's no
myself.
comparison to that. Yeah, I was explaining that to somebody. I was like, part of the reason why like I get so irritated like with dealing with like rude people in the music business is because like that's been my safe haven for so long. Like
Right.
that's been that's my spot. So that's my peace. So it's like if you do something to disturb my peace, like
Yeah.
that's really like that's not cool. You just I wouldn't
No,
even think of doing that.
if you have somebody in the band who's like really combative, I like it when you just have a bunch of people and we easily get along. And if it's my band, I quote Tom Petty and I say, I look at all my boys and girls in the band as they're like my nieces and nephews and brothers, or I'm a concerned uncle, is how I.
Yeah.
Because if you're running the band and you've got people and you get to know them after a long time, you're living out of each other's pockets if you're on the road, and sometimes that you find out when you're out traveling with somebody for like 8 hours a day, like. You don't want to be on the bus with somebody who's picking a skin infection and always eating it or doing something grody. Like that person's always on tour with somebody. It's like, ew, what are you doing over there? God, there's always got to
No.
be like one weirdo and you drop him off out in Salt Lake City or somewhere.
No.
It's like, I can handle it if he's just picking a zit or something, but
That's
god damn, for
gross.
6 hours
That's
sitting there
really
grody and
gross.
scratching at himself. I'm
That's
like, what the
gross.
hell,
I
man?
can't.
I tell the guy on break to put the follow spot on him. I'm kidding you.
Yeah.
So Bill is reminding me here that it was more like 3 a.m., but who's counting? Yes. And I must say, Bill, my friend who came to get me, Paul, thank you very much, Paul. You're a bro, and I love you, and you're just the best. My aide de camp is Paul Neumann, and he's just a great guy. And hell, you'll meet him because I'll bring him up to the next. I'm going to see you. Where are you going to play next down here, like that place near Edison or whatever it is?
I we're playing at Rockies. That's in where is it? That's in Rahway. So
Okay, yeah,
that's
Raleigh's kind of like at least
yeah,
it's not that far.
yeah,
That's where I wanted to see you last time.
yeah. So that's in February, and
Yeah.
there's like right. It's funny. My mom's blowing up my phone right now, so I'm just
Oh,
like, yeah,
I got
I'm gonna send her a quick text message. Say,
Mom,
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
getting up now. Now. So how's the little cool guy? Is he at school now?
No, we have a snow day today. We both have a
All
snow day
right.
today. That's why we're here.
Excellent. Very
Otherwise
cool.
I would be at work,
Right.
Yeah. But
Rockies. Yep. Legion of Prague. He's played there, Bill saying. Very cool.
yeah,
Hell,
it
Bill,
is.
maybe you'll
It
come up there
is.
with me, buddy.
It
You're a fun
is.
hang. We'll
It
drag Bill up
is.
there, man. I'll bring
Yep.
Paul. We'll all ride up, hang
Yep.
with the crazy redheaded ginger lady.
And then let's see, like I have a rehearsal on Sunday also, and that's with Proper Lunacy, and like them, like we start playing our first show, is let's see, that's March, I think it's like 15th or 16th at Moby's, so like that, so we're working on
Wait a
that
minute.
too,
Moby's here in Highlands?
in Sawarin,
Sawarin. Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
not too familiar with Rocky up there.
Yeah,
Let me see.
yeah. So, like there's just a lot of stuff going on, a lot of taking care of business, learning stuff, getting used to people, you
Right.
know.
Are you going to be rehearsing at John's place this weekend?
No,
Oh,
not this
okay.
weekend. We'll be back at where do we go to? We're gonna be at Decibels. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yep. Run through
Okay.
some tunes, get them done, get her
Get it done.
done. Yeah, yeah.
Very cool. Okay, yeah, Moby Dick.
Yeah, yeah,
Moby Dicks.
yeah,
I see the
exactly.
white whale.
Bill knows. Bill knows.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking here, and I got to do at least one more commercial because we got people that they trust us to play their ads, and I don't want to, not play them, and they've paid us, so a little bit anyway. So here we go. We've had the wonderful Nancy Kravis. I say we go with the red fuck from Ireland. I've
Oh
never guessed he's
yes.
from Ireland. I don't know how he's from there.
Like a melting flake of snow this year. I won't be sad to see it go.
Hi,
That's
I'm
right.
Darren F. Flynn, a singer-songwriter from Ireland, and I'm on Live with Neve.
Red fuck.
I would have said it couldn't happen here.
I'm Neil from Live with Neve. We have an exciting connection for our veterans, country music fans, and there is something for everyone. Gone Country Hats at GoneCountryHats.com. That's right, we've partnered with Gone Country Hats at GoneCountryHats.com. See you soon. All right, Gone Country Hats, baby. Where's my hat? I don't know where it is. My cat's probably sleeping in it. White fur and shit all over my black hat. Oh, so what are you doing this weekend now that the snowstorms got you snowed in? You got any good plans other than rehearsal on Sunday? Just like recover on Saturday tomorrow?
No, and then like Sunday morning, like we have breakfast, talking Twisted Ginger business. So
Right.
that Sunday's gonna be busy, and tomorrow it's just taking care of business. Like
Yeah.
like learning stuff, learning new tunes, and that's something that I'm finally at the point where the way I explain it to people is like you can learn music like superficially, or you can learn it in your forever memory.
Right.
And like think of it like you're taking all this knowledge, right? And if you want it to really absorb, you shouldn't be throwing 10 new tunes at people a week. You shouldn't be doing that. That's
Not
not
unless
because
you're paying them and they're studio guys who like really can.
yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
really, I
Yeah.
agree because I
Yep.
don't know what's your method when you learn a song. What do you
Okay.
as a singer? What do you do first?
I'll tell you exactly what I do, okay? Because like the first thing I do is like it sounds simple. Listen to them. Listen to the songs. Say to yourself, what do you think? What's going to give me trouble? Because that's
Right.
what's different for everybody, you know.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so you want to be just real with yourself and say, you know what, that's going to kind of suck, you know. So
If
then what?
You know what? That's great. You're self aware because I do the same thing. I like tell the band when I bring a new tune in. Listen, we'll all know if it's gonna work or not in the first fucking 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I have to write the words down, the lyrics. If I write the whole thing out while stopping and fast forwarding, and I write it, it'll get really sunk the words into my head.
Right. Yeah,
But like
I
you,
understand.
You're a
Yeah.
good singer. I'm a guy who sings and knows how to sing properly. Like I know how to sing fifths and sevenths and harmonies, but I'm not like the guy from Journey, or for example. I pick my material, anything from Tom Petty, the Stones, to all kinds of stuff. But I know what my limits are, and I don't go out there and try to claim to be Robert Plant. I just I'm
Yeah.
like a drummer. The only reason I learned to do it, we got screwed by a singer one time, a front man who just stuck it to us. I had a week gig down in Naples, Florida, and he called me the night we're on stage waiting for him, and I'm calling his phone. There's no cell phones back then. I get his phone to ring. He picks up. And he goes, oh, and I said, John, you fucker, where are you, man? What are you doing up in Brandon?
Yeah.
He goes, sorry, dude, I just couldn't do last week. He just totally stuck the knife in our back.
Yeah,
So here we
that's
are,
that's not
the
cool.
band without our front man, and I'm singing like everything I could sing. But back then, I hadn't learned to sing really.
Mhm.
Like I sang in high school in a couple of bands, but there was a period where I had great singers in our band. I didn't need to, and then I learned to. But when he stuck it to us, I remember everybody in the band. I was just sitting there. And I had to tell him he's not coming, and I had to go up to the owner of the club who loves us and
Yeah.
say. I just went right up to him after the first set. Guy's name was Andy, and he's a big mafia guy. I'm not going to say where, but he looks at me. He goes, "What's up with the fucking band tonight?" I said, "Man, I'm sorry, but Jamie Foxx, he's our singer and he's our ex-singer, but he was
Yeah.
supposed to play 2 more weeks with us,
Mm.
and he didn't show up. And all day I've been calling the fucker, and I told him what happened. And what a class act! He's one of these guys who doesn't have to move for nobody. He gets out his wad of money like this. He flips off fucking half of our pay for the week and gives it to me. He goes, I'm going to have the DJ play tonight, but I like you guys. So just get out of here and call me when you get a singer again." And
Yeah.
so within a month, we were back down there, making good money. It was a great gig. And
Yeah.
it had this scurvy band house. That was the only thing that sucked about it. Like, it was like so disgusting. Me and my sound man we'd haul ass and go get a hotel room with 2 beds. I'm like, the place had like just years of crust. And I'm the
Yuck.
food safety officer for the band. I can't have people getting sick on the road
Yeah.
or anywhere. And, like guys without any women around, they just they get feral, man. I'm just telling you, it happens. I've been there and I've seen horrible things.
Oh,
But,
yeah. 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 Yeah.
rock and roll, I feel sorry for the kids of today. They don't have half the fun we had like 10, 20 years ago. Rock and roll's all neutered. I mean, there's lots of great stuff out there.
Well, I mean, it doesn't even make sense to like back when Honey Creeper, that was my old band. If you ever want to
Honey
like
Creepers?
Honey Creeper, no,
Okay.
just no S, but it's like
Oh,
there's
there's T-Rex?
tunes. There's tunes out there, there's like, it's like, but like the circuit we were in, right? It's like we made just enough to kind of keep the machine going. All right. But, we had a little bus, right? It was like a old hotel bus,
Oh, right. Great.
yeah. So we took the seats out so all our gear would fit, and, if we needed to, we slept in there. There were always like, we knew enough people or like
Park at
back
somebody's
then.
house.
Yeah, and it's funny because like there were always people willing to help, especially if you're like part of like a scene like the punk scene or the ska scene. Like people will be like, oh yeah, you could crash in my friend's place, woo, Like we had a blast, But it's like now, even just like when you think of the price of gas. Right? It wouldn't even
Exactly.
freaking make sense. Get the fuck out of here. So everyone's kind of like, it's not the same thing. You can't even do the same things or experience life the same way because
Right.
of our regular daily lives, like have just kind of.
Well, that's the thing, because all of us working musicians get so highly compensated that we all have to work 2 or 3 jobs sometimes to make things work to stay on the road.
It's dumb.
Then
you're like-
I don't do it much, but just being out with Bill till 3 a.m, and we were both like dog bone sober,
Uh-huh.
riding home out in the BFE, right? As we're going along, I'm like, oh, there's a cop there.
Yeah.
We're just like, oh, well, we just kind of looked at him and rode on by, but we were doing the speed limit. And that's the best part, like for me now that I just don't drink anymore. And I love the fact that I can be the designated driver, scare the
Yeah.
hell out of them. I literally haven't had a ticket in 7 years, but there's been certain times people have ridden with me when I've had a fast car that I've just like taken them for a little spin up the interstate. And
Yeah.
what fun is having a fast car if you don't once in a while just take it out on the interstate and haul ass to the top?
It's true.
I'm
It's
just
true.
saying, I know I have to behave myself because I can't. I want to keep that 7-year record. Like, it's great because I got pulled over about a month ago, and I can't get into the details of it, but I had a really great reason, and I told the cop, I said, check my record. I said, I haven't had a ticket in maybe 5 years, I thought. He comes back and goes, 7 years, and he goes, go on your way and just be careful, sir. It
Yeah.
was great. I went on home.
That
And then I
is
got
good.
home and I found I was in a different car. So I get to where my car is and I pull up, I park the car that I'm in, my friend's place. And I go over to my car and there's a big fucking $50 parking ticket on it. I was like, mother fruger, It was like
Yeah.
one of those days, It was like, and that was like, after I had not slept 2 hours, I went over there to get it, and I was all niff, you know. But at any rate, shit happens. I don't know what I'm babbling about. I see somebody. We got yes. Andy was a class act, and I'll tell you what, the guy, he treated the bands well. He gave everybody dinner and paid for our drinks. And if you were on his list, man, he'd just love you and treat you good and have you back many times. And not many today. It's a lot different. I don't think there's as many club owners who are as hip as they used to be. Now it's all about the money for a lot of these people, which I get. I mean, I'm all about the money too, even though I'm starving to death. I know our show is going to be going gold any day now. I'm waiting for the phone to ring. No, it's like anything, you know, you have to constantly push people, but not push them. You got to be politely persistent to get guests or to get somebody to really buy into the show and want to do something with it. So I kind of figure it's like learning to play drums. I didn't learn to play in 2 weeks or anything like that. It took a couple of years as a young person, and it took really about 10 to really be good, like where I could just play what came into my head off the cuff. And now,
and all entertainment, though, if you think of it like entertainment, like really the name of the game is you have to constantly be meeting new people. You have to constantly
be dialing for dollars, as I call it.
Expanding your network. You have to constantly be doing that because unfortunately, even like the people who have your back don't have your back.
There's always like another band that's going to come down.
You have
to. And I think like Bill just said it. Everybody who's good, we're always working on ourselves. How to do things, learn to sing better. I took vocal lessons because I knew I wasn't a great singer. I was like that little bitch, Jamie Foxx, who left us standing on stage, nothing in our hand, no singer. But all those things, I like to take a little guitar lesson here and there. In fact, when my arm was really screwed up, I thought I might have to switch. I was either going to do keys or guitar or bass or something because I can't really stop at this point. It's like too much fun. And, thinking about that, having to switch instruments, I'm going to maybe start taking some piano lessons just because I'm bored.
It's funny. I used to have like I explain this to people sometimes, and this is why it's like, certain instruments I'm just not into doing. It's because I played different instruments in different ensembles for money. Like different, so like here's how I explain it to people. It's like, like I'm singing in a rock band, but I'm playing show tunes on my clarinet. In the pit, and then sometimes I'm doing, and then I'm teaching sax lessons and I'm doing the jazz band, and I'm part of this section. So it's like, so what I try to get people to understand is like, I spent my life like from when I was a kid, like that sort of mentality. Like I've always had teachers that kind of pushed me into different things. So I got to experience lots of things, but there comes a point in a musician's life where like, if, especially in my case where like Kai was born and like that was my number one responsibility, and that's where my focus is. So it wasn't until he got older and I had to think to myself, all right, now what's your favorite thing to do? Do it for you. No more of this, because I would get talked into, like my friend, we used to call him Funi Jello, right? Matt Pat, he's awesome. He is such a good freaking vocalist, and he's a great teacher. Like he gave me tips that changed my life, like really, truly. But this is the sort of shit I get talked into doing, right? He come into my office. He goes, "Hey, we're doing Fiddler on the Roof. Why don't you get your clarinet out and learn those klezmer parts?" Man, and like up and down.
That's a great.
Right.
Love
Okay.
Roof, man.
Okay. So you know what I'm talking. So this is the sort of shit I get taken care of, like because I've been into woodwinds, and for some reason, like it just clicks. Right. I was like, yeah. He's like, come on, you can do it. You can do it. Come on, you can do it. I was like, oh yeah, and like like it was like a month later, yeah, and it's funny because like I'm still like kind of into it because like it really
get into the haunted mansion at Disney World.
But the thing bands, right? But I don't love klezmer more than I like singing rock, right? But my energy got kind of like, that's my ADD. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I had to like check myself like this time around and be like, all right, pick your favorite, focus, Mandy. Don't, you know? So it's like I even have to remind the people in my bands, like, you know, our bass player of Phil, like he has a thing about Baker Street, like the song Baker Street. Now, for me, like, no. I'm like, for me, it's just no. You know, never.
Can
like,
you play us the Star Wars theme from the bars?
Yeah,
The barroom scene.
and it's a personal thing. It's not an ability thing. It's a personal thing. It's like
Right.
it's like imagine you have better luck asking me to dress up like freaking Ronald McDonald, like, or some sort of like bullshit. Like you're better luck, you know, like because it just doesn't feel right in my soul, and that's
You
what
know
some people,
Part of life in this, in anything we're doing, is learning how to gracefully say no to things that don't fit. And I'm like a lot of musicians. I hate turning a gig down, but I've learned you got to have some discretion, man. You got to weed through the pile of gigs, and it's good when you can start chunking them off because they just don't pay enough. You know, you get a band together and you work it up. You got to get, if it stops going up and up or forward, it's time to maybe find something that will, or you know, it just all depends on what you want out of your music life. I mean, I know I took so many gigs that I've dreaded at times just because it's like it's like a show tune thing. Or I played with a guy who used to be he was the musical director for the Queen Elizabeth II. I'm 18 years old. I got hair down to here, like about as long as I have now. I got a beard. I look like Jesus Christ on a good day. And this guy looks like Captain Kangaroo. And in '79, I saw an ad in the paper, because back then they would, musicians put ads in the paper. It said, steady gig, Holiday Inn, from 6 to 9. And I was getting paid $300 a night, I believe, at that time. It was like crazy money. And so I'm all excited because I've got this gig. I haven't even heard him yet. He just told me he's got a fake book and just get down there and we'll sing Little Brown Jug and How High Over the Moon and all this other shit that he did.
Yeah.
Well, I learned a few things. First off, there was mirrors on the wall across the room. And me sitting there, he had this drum kit that had heads that had been on it since the fucking Queen Elizabeth II had sunk, or whatever they did with it. So I went out to the club, nobody's there, and I went, checked out the kit. I go to the music store, I buy all new heads, put them all in the kit, get it all tuned up really nice. So the first night, I walk in at like 3:30, half hour early, and he goes, Neil, I love you, man, but what did you do to my drum kit? Those heads were seasoned. I'm like thinking, yeah, they're seasoned like fucking so much salt, you fucking had the shaker break on your eggs and you have to spoon it off with a shovel. So that was our first kind of like lovers quarrel, like the first night. And I just said, well, I came in, I'll tell you what, I'll come back tomorrow and I'll re-put your heads back on, okay? They're like all sitting in a pile in the boxes. I'm ready to throw them in the dumpster, you know? So he says, after that night, we played, and when we're done, he's like, you're a very good drummer. I'm proud to have you aboard. Welcome aboard, he says, and gives me a big handshake. Well, as the course of the gig went on, we played from 5 to 9. I know that the band came on at 9. I think we played a 3-hour show, but behind us was a rotating stage, and behind us was this guy named Johnny Charo. They called him Mr. Swivel Hips. He was like an Elvis guy. And nice. It was funny though, because the bar over there would be full of like these old like divorcees, like 40-year-old women. And so after the gig, I'd be at the gig, and then I'd go around to watch Mr. Swivel Hips and just hang out with the band and the waitresses. And it was just kind of weird, man. The whole, I don't know. I remember seeing Johnny Charo, and at the time thinking that could be me in 40 years. I just didn't want it to become me, but it was kind of fun because I met all these old divorcees who wanted to buy me drinks, get me all liquored up, you know.
Now, you realize that you called 40 old, right? Like, I'm waiting to see if you realize that. I'm just waiting.
It's only comparatively. It's only comparatively.
Yeah. Well, listen, you're the one who's saying. I'm just saying, for anyone else who's watching, like myself, someone has to advocate.
Here. Oh.
Yeah, someone has to advocate, for all the cougars.
Well, I don't think you're old. That was a definite not. That was a faux pas. A faux pas. How do you say that? I always say it backwards. It's like, I don't know, brain damage. What can I tell you? So yes, folks, here we have Mandy and Neil fighting on the air. I quit, you rotten bastard.
No, it's not. It's not a fight. I'm just saying. It's just facts,
listen,
I'm reporting the news.
I'm laughing, man. Yeah, look, here we go. Faux pas.
Yeah.
Faux pas. I think faux is something I eat at a Thai restaurant. What do I know? It's spelled differently, though.
Yeah.
I like the Fab Faux.
Yeah.
You ever seen them, the Fab Four? My friend, one of the guys we've had on our show, LJ, plays with them. They played Beatlemania at the for years in New York.
Nice. Nice.
He occasionally, they have, I think they got the bassist. I have to ask Bill on this. I believe Will Smith plays bass for those guys, the Fab Four. They have a great Beatles show. They kick ass, they're just, it's like they sound really, really like the Beatles, amazingly.
Nice.
There's another band here in town, Bob Barger. Have you ever heard of him? Guitar player from Asbury Park?
No.
He's a killer.
Nice.
Not
yeah.
Faux.
Faux. I mean, they're both faux. They both pronounce faux. It's faux and faux.
Right on. Will Lee is the man.
I was like, Will Smith getting jiggy with it. Na.
I've been hearing all kinds of weird stuff from people who know the guy, and I don't know, man. I think Will's like kind of gone off into some tangent of a strange world.
Well, yeah, that's what happened once he slapped who'd he slap
Well,
again?
he slapped Chris Rock, which was uncalled for.
See, that was it. That was the breaking point. Ever since then, there's like
Chris Rock. He's such a fucking tiny little nice guy, man. I mean, he's funny as shit. I'd love to hang out with Chris Rock. A lot more than I'd hang out with that other weirdo, man. Will Smith is a very talented guy. I'm not knocking any of his skills. But, when you have nothing but an army of people around you who always tell you, yes, you're great, you're so good, you're so awesome.
Yeah, you think you could go around smacking people on stage.
Drumsticks at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guilty. No, like I said, I've reformed my evil ways.
Making memes of their nasty ass legs. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you're flat. I'm going to hit you with a drumstick. Oh my God. Life is funny. And there's so many things you learn from playing with like such a wide variety. I've played with everybody I could. And I think as we get older towards our prime, which we're still getting towards, like 70s, 80s, hopefully we'll all live to be 100. I'm trying to dig myself gracefully out of that FAPO or FOCPO or whatever. We'll call it FOCPO.
The damage is done. The damage is done.
It's done. I'm telling you, man. I have to.
No. Listen, I'm always that voice. I can't, that's always me. That's what it is,
Absolutely.
and that's freaking hilarious as shit.
You are a lot of fun, and you're funny, and you're talented. So now that I've buttered you up, do me a solid on that one. I'll come over and scrub you a toilet. Yeah. That's what I told someone once. I forget why though. They just looked at me like, "You're gonna what?" Got my scrub brush right down here under my front seat. Don't leave home without it.
Nice.
That's for what the bar does to musicians on their way up. Tells them, "Well, I'll give you a gig if you go clean the toilets out for me today."
That's horrible. That's horrible.
Well, let's see. We have gone over, and I think today, because of the snow, it's just been me and you and Bill. Will Smith.
Yeah, see?
Oh, absolutely. Man, if he'd have come up and I was doing stand-up and he popped me in the mouth, that would have been the talk of the year because I'd have done the death roll with him, man. I'd have pulled him down and dragged him down the floor, man. We've been over. Chris Rock was a real gentleman about it. I don't take kindly to getting smacked in the face. I hate to say it. That would rile up the drummer gene again. I might get feisty. And, if you're up front singing and some guy comes up and drags the mic out of your hand, he's probably going to get struck in the head with one. You get that thing swinging, let it go, whack! I have really good aim. That's one good thing about drummers. We have incredible eye-hand coordination. and like I can snatch stuff out of the air. Like sometimes I'll drop my
Yeah.
glasses, and people will
Yeah.
crack up because it's like snatch those things really quick.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know the things we learn. And before we go, we'll just check to see if there's any news here that we can't live without. We're a little over. Putin orders hunt for property of Empire Soviet Union. Hey, Pooty Poot, come on over here to Highlands. I got something for you in the basement. Big fucking coffin. We're gonna lock you in there and nail down. Gonna stake his ass out. Pooty Poot's going down, man. Let's see. We have. I'm looking to see if there's anything. I don't know if any good news today, people. Wow, they're making bets now, and I'm not going to bet on this one. There's a multi-billion-dollar bet that truckers will ditch diesel fuel for electricity.
Huh.
I'm not buying it. We don't have the capacity in electrical. I've done some studying on this stuff, so I haven't bought a Tesla and shit.
You know, unless Elon Musk has found a way to make fuel from truck station food, where it's like there's this
I love that idea.
The trucker's like ass is like directly into the fuel tank, like it's a renewable resource. These truckers are like, we got you motherfuckers
I want
fooled.
Elon to come out and tell me he's going to make a fucking car that drives on seawater. Plenty of it, cheap.
Yeah.
Got to be a way. Remember, think about this. The Stanley Steamer was a car that was fast as shit, was driven on steam.
Yeah.
If you think about it, we can build big fucking nuclear power plants that have millions of megawatts on a fucking fish oil core that could fucking go, it could literally become a bomb if not kept within certain parameters. But we can't build a steam-powered car that's safe. I think we can build a reactor vessel of some kind.
Listen, this is the man. These are the puppeteers at the top. This is
Oh, I know. They want to.
Yeah.
Half of them want to kill us all, man.
That's right. I know. We're laughing, but like I'm dead serious.
Theories, but now I'm like going, well, that is. I don't believe in coincidences when they happen like repeatedly. After a while,
Yeah.
like,
Then you're like, wait a second, this lines up, and this. Then it's like connecting the dots. It's like it stops being random when you see the pattern.
oh,
You're just
I've been
like
seeing the patterns. I feel like I'm doing acid from the '70s again. The patterns
Yeah.
I'm seeing now. I almost wish I was. I wouldn't see the patterns I'm seeing.
Yeah, no, they say that's like the next being, like the next wave of enlightenment is once you start feeling that, where it's like you're experiencing life, but you're also seeing all the connections, and it goes beyond.
If you go on an ayahuasca journey down to Peru,
Uh-huh.
you will have connections that you would not imagine with the real world. I have a friend of mine who was the ayahuasca king. God rest his soul. He passed away. And I hate to say it, but my friend was a really unique guy. And Clay, I love you, man. I hope there's always a beer in my fridge, even though it's been in there for 3 years now from a party.
Yeah.
But I forgot what I was going to say about it now. Looking at my list here and not thinking what I was yapping about. Anyhow, it was a good story, but I don't remember it. So, what was I thinking about?
I have no idea. I don't live in your head.
Scary what goes on in there, you got.
I know what I was thinking about, but I don't know what you're thinking about.
I don't know what I'm thinking about. You thinking about it? You know what I'm thinking about? Well, we've got it. The bot level election wave and bot disinfo raised stakes in 24. I'm shocked. Robotic people. I just read that our government has spent approximately $700,000 getting social media geeks to go on and post anti-right wing stuff, like to be a flash mob source.
Oh, sure.
Get out the money, man. And remember, people, my theory is the people at the top who have all the money, if you got all the money, you pay everybody, both sides. You play them against each other. You fucking orchestrate everything.
That's how you get shit done.
That's how you trickles get shit down. Trickle down means it's like we get shit at the bottom.
Yeah.
And, the middle class in our country is just taking such a hit,
Yeah.
That's what the worst thing, I think, because really, traditionally, the middle class has paid all of our taxes. You know, if they all dried up, it's like smoking.
Oh, I guess Neil went bye-bye. So, here we are. And I'm gonna give him a couple seconds to come back. You're gonna come back? Nah. So with that, we will say Happy Friday. Happy Friday, bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week, live with Neve.